So a little while ago I said this. I'ma say it myself. Vergilius is a fraud. I'ma say it. He's a fraud. Now your boy was ready to be put on the cross for this one. I was prepared to die like Jesus for stating the truth. But turns out, I ain't the only one who knows Vergilius is a fraud. On the Limbus Company subreddit, the Fraudgilius agenda has been getting pushed deservedly. Now, yo, look, I ain't saying he's shit-ass weak. I'm saying he's less than that. Like, the question isn't even when has he beaten the allegations. Nah, motherfucker. The question is, when has he even tried to beat the allegations? Cause unless I'm playing a different version of this game, unless I'm playing fucking Limbus Company, this bitch ain't doing anything. Like, okay, yeah, at the beginning he, bodied a handful of homeless people? Yeah, well, what were their achievements? What did they do? Beat the sinners? Dog, that shit happens like 20 times a cutscene. You think that's an achievement? And some people try to say, oh, but at the end of Leviathan, he manifested ego. You know who else has ego? The sinners. Exactly. That shit ain't difficult to get. Now, what are some other feats he has? Well, he bodied Dawn. Someone who was 4'3" and has a head more hollow than an ice rink in summer. And what else? He beat Heathcliff's ass? Bro, look at his scars. This man is already on death's door due to them. I guarantee he's built like a bundle of matchsticks. A sharp gust of wind could turn his ass into shred. Now, let's look at some highlights he's shown in Limbus Company. Well, when Siegfried was beating our ass, he was just watching on the sidelines. Hell, he was probably jotting down notes to maybe learn how to fight. And trust, when the Indigo Elder said he didn't want to fight the whale with Vergilius, that was not because he was worried it'd be too easy. Nah. He didn't want the dead weight pulling him down. The Elder is like, let me solo her. Vergilius is the nerd who had to use a summoning sign for an optional boss. When they got to the port and Vergilius said he had something else to do, he was fucking lying. He just didn't want to go into the scary alleyways and instead opted to eat ice cream with his adopted daughter. And on that note, let's talk about Leviathan, alright? Chapter 1 dead exposed this man. He was only able to take an arm off of Tomari. An arm. Dog, Gebra taking a hell of a lot more than an arm with her swing. Meanwhile, Yori didn't even take this beta seriously. Look at the finesse she put on his ass. Dead looking like when Gojo fought Sukuna. Okay, that was a poor example. But look at this shit, she beat his ass. Iori's like 80 years old. The fact she's yet to retire shows how workers' rights are a myth in the city. Yet she flawlessed his ass. Meanwhile, look at how she fared in the library by comparison. And, on the note of the library, let's bring up how Vergilius got the fear of God put into him when Ronald McDonald just appeared behind him. This beta was shook. Honestly, shit, Leviathan's too depressing to look at. He's getting exposed too much in it. Let's move back to Limbus Company. The game of 13 sinners plus a dead weight. Now picture this, right? You got an adoptive daughter who absolutely loves this bus she got as a Christmas present. Then some B-tier ass, no drip having nail nerds come up and start whooping on it. They start destroying the bus your daughter loves. Now, what would you do as a father? Well, the answer is, if you're Vergilius, beg the sinners to take care of it because you're too scared to go out there yourself. The only impactful thing he did in Canto 3 was bring the sinners food. He's basically just a water boy for the real champions of Limbus Company. Hell, in the middle of stomping our shit, I doubt the waves prevented him from coming over. He was just begging Foss for her to make up an excuse as to why he couldn't go over there. He was in the bus boat absolutely petrified. Hell, I bet this motherfucker is faking his inability to hear Dante. He's just too worried to get in a verbal encounter with this absolute Chad of a manager. And now, I know what you may be thinking, but Tsunul, what about the tweet where Roland said Vergilius is the most dangerous sinner? Well, let me say two things. A, his ass was never even thought of to be brought up when Gebra asked who the strongest is. And B, dog, most dangerous don't mean shit. You know what else is dangerous? Giving League of Legends players in-game voice chat so both teams can talk to one another. But I don't exactly see people saying that's such a strong thing. Like, really, this beta rubs his eyes a little before throwing a temper tantrum and people act as though he's some shit. He ain't. He needs to keep his ass in the bus or he's finished. And that is it for my TED Talk on why Vergilius is an absolute fraud. And before you ask, yes, I did not finish Leviathan. Stopped at the peak that is book 15. But also, actually real quick, jokes aside, a little side note. Please don't spam up posts of Vergilius on the Limbus Company subreddit. I'd imagine a high quality post is completely fine, but it would be unideal for a bunch of people to be posting about the meme. I'd imagine the Odyssey Had a Purpose would be a better place to post out shitposts. I say this because even though my influence is incredibly small, when I made videos on the Project Moon community server, there was a fair bit of people who joined in and didn't respect the rules, which is why I stopped making videos about the server. So even though I doubt many people would go there to start making memes about it, I do just wish to state that so people don't disrupt the rules of the subreddit. Jokes are only fun when everyone can laugh at them, so if you want to post up memes, it's best to do it in a way that doesn't go against what the subreddit is for. But yeah, that's all. Vergilius is an absolute fraud. He'll never beat the allegations. They're much like a cockroach. Too strong for him.